Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. This video is actually week 3 of our 35-week long challenge that we're documenting. It's our response to the cost of living crisis, where we're taking into account all of the changes that we're seeing around groceries, the cost of food, household costs, different things like that. And I'm trying to document what the 35 weeks look like for us so that we can share any of our learnings and learn from other people throughout the way. But also it's something for us to look back on, you know, in a year or two's time, and hopefully when we're all in a little bit of a better position. Specifically at the moment, we're looking around the cost of electricity and just the general cost of food and inflation in general, and really just documenting what's going on and how we're coping along the way. So each week is slightly different. This week was a bit of a busy one for us, and I don't have as much of the footage captured that I have in previous weeks. But even so, I thought it was still worth putting together and showing you guys what we've been up to and having a little chat along the way. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Well, the fridge this week is looking even more sparse. I thought it looked sparse last week, but little did I know. We have some cannellini beans that we used in one of the meals, half a tin. So we've got half a tin left to use up. There's some soft cheese. Oh, first of all, can you see we're having problems with it because the door's sticking, so they're coming back out to fix it. But anyway, we've got some soft cheese, a full tub of soft cheese, and a tiny little bit of Nord pack left in there. Still haven't used this puff pastry, and this is the cheese which I'm using to feed the dog some tablets at the moment, so we're going to put that to one side. Condiments and bacon margarines there. There is a tiny little bit which I've missed in other weeks, of red currant jelly, tiny little bit, that's homemade. And we still haven't got round to these apricots, but I think I'm going to make some flapjacks with them for the kids' pack lunches. There's just a little bit of extra nutrition in there, nothing in the bottom. Things coming in and out of this fridge all week, so it doesn't look sparse all the time, but it is right now. We've got some almond milk that Stephen's making his way through for lunches, and then just more condiments. So there's nothing really in here, again, that I need to use up. I stick those cannellini beans in one of the meals, nice and easy just to bulk things out. But apart from that, that is the fridge. In the pantry, we're making our way through some of the things. I do suspect some of these will be here right at the end of the challenge, but I've just had today, I did some tomatoes from the greenhouse for lunch, cooked in a little bit of balsamic vinegar and garlic over some toast. Oh my goodness, it was delicious. I didn't get it on video because I didn't think it would be so nice, but it really was. We've sorted out the problem with the chocolate spread. So the reason we have two different ones is my daughter has to have this one because these have got nuts in and she reacts to them. So she does have a nut allergy that we're working on at the moment. But I've been working through some of the other bits and pieces that were in here. So you'll see some changes from last week. Some of the tins of beans have gone. I think I might have used up some fruit, but I can't really remember. The red onion chutney, oh my goodness, we go through that so quickly. I showed you my mountain of tea, which that's definitely going to be here at the end of the challenge, I think. But I'm not getting myself coffee anymore, which I mentioned last week. Stephen will be the only one having coffee. And again, the bread, which is always going to be in here every week because we have that every day. Crisps, which are the ones that we didn't get because my parents bought the kids some stuff, and still haven't got round to this tea. I said tea because it's the oranges, and I've just found out that we can make a fresh citrusy kind of orange tea with them, which I think sounds really nice. And I'm going to pop some lemon and ginger in there as well. We've still got some apples left over, which we have gone through one pack since last week, and that red cabbage is just sat looking at me. I think it likes it there, so we'll just leave it. But that's the pantry. And then in the garden for week 3, we're still getting the tomatoes, so they'll definitely be on the menu for a while. Still getting the courgettes, the beetroot, and all those good things that you've seen us use in week 1 and in week 2. So we'll definitely be adding those into the meal plan this week. And also the weather for week 3 is going back to be nice again. So we've just had a few days of rain. So I don't want to be doing anything that's going to be too much on a hot day, either to cook or to eat. So I'll have to have a look what the weather's looking like. But my daughter has requested curry again as her meal of choice. So I'll put that on the coolest day probably. But I have got a few requests this week. So Stephen's asked for a sausage tray bake, which is what we did. I think that was on week 1. He really enjoyed that. And he's also asked for a wings and ribs night. So that'll probably be on a weekend. So maybe on movie night, that sounds like it'll work. And my son has asked for a chicken dinner. So maybe we'll do that traditional Sunday chicken dinner. That sounds nice. And fit the curry in somewhere as well. And so now I'm going to sit down write out the meal plan, taking those things into consideration first, along with the weather, fill in the other days, and then we're going to go head to Aldi. So I've come up with the meal plan for the next 7 days. So my 7 days, it's not Monday to Sunday, just because we go shopping and get our new budget on a Tuesday night. So we get the £25 then, we go to Aldi, but we've already eaten, so it needs the tea for Tuesday needs to be taken into account on the previous week. So the meal plan that I'm pulling together now, and the way it'll be moving forward, is from Wednesday, which is tomorrow, all the way through to next Tuesday. And it's still 7 days worth of meals, so it doesn't matter from that point of view. So I've got my 7 meals, and I'm going to update my menu board, or my menu board, and obviously that goes Monday to Sunday. So I just like to do things differently, just to be awkward, I'm sure. I'll show you what I've got and what's taken into account, what we've got in the fridge, and obviously coming in from the garden and things. Now I've got something to tell you. I'll tell you at the end of the video of what's coming up next week, which is a little bit different to what's happened for the first 3 weeks, so keep watching for that. I've already got stuffed marrow and toad in the hole from last week's menu plan, and this week for Wednesday we're going to have, so this is when I'm in the office on Wednesday and Thursday, so I need Instant Pot or slow cooker. So we've got Wednesday is Instant Pot beef stroganoff, and that's going to use the cream cheese that's in the fridge. Thursday is red currant chicken casserole, which will use the red currant that's in the fridge, but I've also got some more homemade red currant jelly as well. Friday is Grace's request for curry, so I'm going to do a lamb curry on Friday. Saturday is Stephen's request for the wings and the ribs, that's wings and things on Saturday. Sunday is Jack's request, which is the roast chicken, and that will then leave over some chicken which I'm going to put into a pie on Tuesday night. But on Monday I'm going to do the sausage tray bake, which will use all of the garden produce, and that was Stephen's request. And that's also a bank holiday now, and the Queen's funeral, so that'll be nice and easy for me to put together on that day. So all of the things that we've got in the fridge and the garden have been taken into account on this menu plan. And there'll be more pantry items used and vegetarian courses in week 4, which you'll see more of at the end of this video. I've got my shopping list together for everything that I'm going to need to be able to create those meals. I don't think it'll come in at too much for most of it, but we do need peanut butter and cheese this week, because I'm going to be doing a big quiche at the weekend, and Stephen needs peanut butter because he's ran out. So they're 2 big price-wise items that I wasn't wanting to get on the same week, but it's just how it's worked out. So hopefully it'll still come in at less than £25. I believe it will, based on my maths, but we shall see. So we're going to head to Aldi. I'll show you what we've got when we get back. We've literally just got back. Can you see the problem? 2 receipts. I got almost all the way home and I realised I'd forgotten one of the most important ingredients, which is Stephen's peanut butter, because he takes that every day in a shake for his lunch. He has a drinkable lunch, if you've not heard me say that before. So he gets all these calories in 1 shake for dinner, literally the only thing that he needed, and I didn't get it. So I went back, but it would have put me over budget. Let me take you through what we've got and I'll explain. So this week we got 2 lots of milk again. So they're 4 pints and they were £1.45 each. So they've gone up 10 pence in the last few months. Can't remember if I said that last week. We've got a 1 long life milk. That's our go-to if the others run out, just in case, because it is a bit of a pain. Leeks for one of the recipes, £1.39, and I got 2 little chocolate bars to make some cookies or something like that for treats. They were 33 pence each. The bag of frozen garden peas was 65 pence. The 7-pack of bananas, so there's 14 bananas in total, which works out better per banana, because we're going down to that level of detail, than the other packs, and that was 83 pence each. Now the yoghurt, I don't know why I haven't seen this before, but this is actually cheaper than the other one that I've been getting, and this comes in at a kilo for £1.29, and it's got a really long date on it, so I'm not sure why I've been getting the smaller one for £1.59 for half the amount. But it does say on the other one authentic, and this isn't authentic. Maybe someone can educate me on that. Then what else have we got? The beans come in 4 for £1.09. 85p each for the almond milk. The Knorr pack is £2.19, so that's gone up from £2.15, and the lemonade's just my little treat, which is 23p. Probably not good for you, but I say that every week. I went for the larger cheese that's probably more highly processed, but I'm okay with that at the moment. £3.99. Broccoli 57p each. Digestives just for the kids' snacky packed lunches, 55p each. Excuse the dogs in the background, they're being silly. Hovis was £1.10. The frozen mushrooms, because they didn't have any fresh mushrooms, again was 75p. And then the peanut butter. So normally we get the kilo tub, which is the same size as this yogurt, for £3.99, but that would have taken me over budget. So we got 2 of the smaller ones, and how much are these? 280 grams. Worked out just slightly more expensive per gram. They came in at £1.15 each. So that is £22.65 for the first one and £2.30 for the second shop, which was literally 10 minutes afterwards when we remember. And that brought me in at literally 5p under budget. So I'm really pleased we're under budget, but I feel as though it was by the skin of our teeth this week, because there isn't really that much there. But I have noticed the food prices going up, just a few pennies here and there, but they're definitely going up. So all learning, all good stuff. That's the whole point of doing this. But for tonight, that's our haul. Well, I'm right in the middle of making our sausage tray bake, which is the last meal of this week and the only meal that I'm actually going to be showing on today's footage. But I wanted to quickly show you, I'm in what we call the cold room. It's not really a cold room in the true sense. It's just a storage room where we keep our crops that we grow and some of the jars that we can, things like that. So I guess it's a bit of an extension of the pantry. We've got an old fridge in here as well that we can put all of our ferments in and things like that. At the moment, we're bringing in lots and lots of apples from out foraging, some that we've grown here on the property. I'm right in the middle of harvesting our potatoes, and there's a few jars in here, as I say, that from a few canning sessions that I've just done. So I've come to get some garlic, which I'm going to put in the sausage tray bake, and I just want to show you what it's like. This is where we keep it. It doesn't look pretty, but it's really tasty. Now, excuse the light. This is literally just me coming in to get some. So all we've done is harvested our garlic and dried it out. You can plait it and make it look really pretty, but I just didn't get around to that yet this year. I probably won't, realistically. There's all kinds of different shapes and sizes, so these terrible little ones that don't look great, they'll still taste lovely, and I'll probably use those for stocks and things like that. And then we've got these absolutely giant, huge cloves and huge bulbs there, which are lovely. And underneath there, I think we've got some onions under here as well. But again, it's not really organised at the moment. This is just coming from the garden, dried. I haven't got round to doing anything to make it look pretty, but it's perfectly usable like this. And I'm really pleased that we've got such a large amount of garlic to see us through the winter months. Any that start to look as though they're going a little bit mouldy, you can see that underneath that it's absolutely fine. And I'm going to take some of these in and I'll show you what they look like going into the tea, because that's in the oven at the minute. And I just realised I forgot to add onion and garlic, and a tray bake is nothing without onion and garlic, in my opinion. The other thing we've got in here are all the different potatoes that we're harvesting. Some look better than others. Anything that looks like this that's gone a bit scabby or came out scabby and doesn't look great will go in the bin. And there's all different sizes and varieties in here. Whoops, dropped one on the floor. Get that in a sec. Some of these are purple fleshed, some of them are red fleshed, some of them are red skinned with yellow flesh, all different kinds. And that's one of the lovely things I enjoy about growing our own, is that you've got a lot of different options to try. You don't really get to pick in the supermarket. I think you'll get like Red Duke of York or whatever they're called in the supermarket, where you've got the red skin and yellow flesh. They're absolutely lovely, but that's probably about it that I've seen around here anyway. You certainly don't get the purple ones with the purple skins. And as you can see, I've got lots of different options. The ones that, the little potatoes that we haven't got around to using and probably won't because they're too small, it'll be the what's left in the end. So I'm going to grab an onion and I'm going to grab some garlic and go back in and get the rest of this sausage tray bake put together. Couldn't go without showing you the apples though. This is the start of them. I do need to go through them all just in case there's any bad ones, but I'm going to be making lots of apple things coming up. So if you're interested in that, then please keep an eye out for the videos coming up. And there's the end result. I think that's the garlic. We've got all of the beetroot, obviously the sausages, some potatoes, other beetroot, leeks, onions, all kinds of goodness in there. So that is tea tonight. Well, I've come back outside because there's something that I wanted to show you that I completely forgot about, because yesterday we had a power cut on the morning and it got me thinking about preparing for winter, and we're hearing that you're going to be getting more power cuts, although I'm not too sure how true that is. I certainly don't think we'll be getting rationed in that respect, and I don't understand why we might be getting more power cuts, to be quite honest. But either way, I like to be prepared because here in the country we do seem to get more power cuts than where we used to live, which was right in the middle of town. So I'm going to show you in just a second, but first of all I wanted to say that meal that we had, the sausage tray bake, was absolutely delicious, and Stephen even declared it was one of his most favourite meals that he has at the moment. You've seen, I think I did it in week 1, and obviously now it's week 3. So I'm really pleased. That'll be going on the menu plan, I think, at least once or twice a month. And it's even nicer because it's a lot of homegrown stuff, which is always the most rewarding kind of meal that I can make, in my opinion. Little Rodney's come to see us. They're nice. Right, this is the cupboard that I was going to show you. So actually it's up here specifically, so I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what I was getting excited about. Actually, starting down here, what I've been doing is just trying to build up a little stock of things that we use, that we would use during blackouts. So there's actually, we wouldn't need lots of ibuprofen during blackouts, but there's batteries and torches. I think that's a torch that I recently bought from Wilko's, and batteries and just extra things that we might need when the electricity goes out. There's some emergency candles there, which were dirt cheap in Wilko's again, and our firelighters we use sometimes for lighting the fire or barbecues and things, but they're kind of an emergency if we need them. But I just think it's really useful to start building up a little bit of a store like this. I use these matches for our fires inside, but also for my outdoor burner that I've got for doing the canning on, and then just trying to build up some extra. This is laundry detergent and just bits and pieces when I see things on offer, just picking them up and starting to fill these cupboards up as best as I can. I don't pay full price for anything, so I generally will just get them when they're on offer, but also I like to keep some extra tablets, medications out here just in case. I do pay full price for them because they're so cheap anyway that seems to work out for me. But yeah, I just thought it was worth sharing. If anybody finds any use out of that, then that's fantastic. Otherwise, if not, I think it's just nice to share anyway. Well, that's it. Another week is over. It's flying round. So we're moving into week 4, and I alluded to something earlier that I'd mentioned at the end of the video and I nearly forgot. I hate it when people do that. So I'm glad that I've remembered. Week 4, we are going from a £25 budget down to a £5 budget just for 1 week. And that's for a couple of reasons. 1, just to keep the challenge a challenge, and 2, because I want to encourage myself to make better use of the pantry and the freezer items. So the only things really that I'll be getting for the £5 would be milk and potentially fruit, but at the moment we've got quite a lot of different frozen fruit and things in the garden, so probably just bananas or something like that. But look out for week 4 and I'll show you what I got when I finally decide and I get the meal plan done, and that'll be more around pantry based meals and using up what we've got more so than what we've been doing. And then week 5 we'll go back to a £25 a week budget. But for now, that's the end of week 3. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and please get subscribed so you can stick along for this journey and see what else I get up to over the next however many weeks we've got left.